just like the lightning that split the sky on a dark night. The unseen realms trembled the second you walked into the world. The secret portals to the celestial dome opened. The hearts of the universe trembled, and the songs of the old heavenly armies reached a new pitch. Right? 111 comments now. You were more than simply a baby. You were a heavenly pronouncement. Descending on the stage of eternity in the spiritual plane, your force continues to increase in waves, destroying every link buried in the darkness. Each stride you take is a tornado of stardust. Every breath you take contains a heavenly ray, which seals God's miracle. Be ready. Your shout will be pushed aside by all of his force. This age marks the beginning of the epic that will be written in your honor. Imagine your life as a lovely garden that God personally planted. The chosen one. Each seed was meticulously planted with the intention of blooming at the perfect time. However, gardens attract a wide variety of weather. Sometimes clouds form unexpectedly. Storms break free, and torrential rains fall, putting every plant to the test. Remember, no storm can remove what God has planted firmly within your spirit. Every season, there's a shaking that sweeps through the lives of individuals who thought their ground was firm, who believed their goals were fixed in stone like trees, swinging violently in winds they didn't expect. These folks' comfort and assurance have been rattled to the core. What looked to be tranquil and peaceful on the surface now reveals secret currents beneath. Secrets were carefully kept, silently carried worries and secret regrets that flickered like distant lightning, revealing long-hidden flaws. Relationships that previously appeared unshakable. Trembling is being felt not just as a result of external circumstances, but also when buried facts emerge. Those who formerly stood confidently in shadows are now frantically shifting, attempting to conceal the things that were supposed to remain buried. In these critical moments, everything placed on weak ground begins to fall, revealing foundations made of sand rather than solid rock. But don't worry, since these trials aren't happening by mistake. They are an essential element of your road to something higher, something spectacular that God has planned for you. Storms aren't merely destructive. They also clear the path. They eliminate weak branches to allow for better, healthier development. When it rains, the water nourishes your roots, allowing you to grow higher and brighter. You are not being shaken apart. You're being shook awake. Just like gold must pass through fire to become pure, and diamonds require extreme pressure to shine brilliantly. Every tough moment you experience helps to shape your character, purpose, and destiny. The turbulence you face is not intended to break you. Its purpose is to help you grow. It's a heavenly indication that you're being groomed for advancement. God is about to take you to new heights, positions of power you never expected. There will be so many blessings that you will scarcely be able to hold them all. The amazing thing about God's plan is that He sees beyond the turbulence and confusion that appears overpowering. What appears to be a setback today is frequently the precursor to tomorrow's success. Even when clouds obscure your view behind them, your future shines bright. Those who formerly opposed you, murmured doubts, or attempted to destroy your aspirations are now watching something extraordinary. They're seeing you succeed despite their attempts. Your light shines stronger after each storm, and now their emotions are filled with uncertainty and astonishment, for the traps they laid simply helped to propel you higher. Consider the times you've been misunderstood or felt alone in your challenges. Perhaps friends or family members did not recognize your worth, did not believe in your dreams, or perhaps they deliberately opposed your advancement. But keep in mind that their unbelief will not prevent God from declaring His will for your life. Their cynicism cannot weaken the power of His promises. Instead, Their opposition has placed you in an ideal position to accept the gifts that have been particularly designed for you. If you are experiencing an excess of divine love in your heart, now is the moment to share it. You may help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and donating $20 or more. This wonderful gift will affect not just your life, but also the souls of countless others. Each of you has a holy position in God's great purpose through this platform, and your giving will provide fruit for our prayers. Act now. Share your benefits to honor His kingdom. You are meant to do much bigger things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. Your veins contain ancient strength, the chosen one, resilience handed down through the generations. Your predecessors faced far larger storms and tribulations than you can fathom. However, their trust never faltered. They held steady, convinced that something tremendous was developing inside their ancestry. Their power is now your legacy. Their faith, shelter, endurance, and guidance are within you. Not just your own goals, but those of those who came before you, who believed in God's ability to produce beauty out of the most terrible situations. This is your moment to take bold steps ahead, knowing that every challenge has prepared you for greatness. The storms did not defeat you. They have transformed you into a marvel of power and elegance. Your life exemplifies divine favor, proof that no impediment, no matter how difficult, can derail God's plan for those He has selected. Those who predicted your defeat are now compelled to witness your success, astounded by your tenacity and humbled by your steadfast faith. People who formerly questioned your abilities are now wondering how you managed to ascend each time they expected you to fall. They don't comprehend how you've maintained your optimism, joy, and tranquility in the face of adversity. It's because your strength isn't derived from circumstance or external approval. It comes directly from God, who supports you through every storm and whispers encouragement into your heart when no one else is there. If you experience God's presence, touch the join button below to be among the first to receive the most crucial insights. Every tear you've cried, every lonely night you've spent, every disappointment you've encountered, they were all seeds sown in your destiny, preparing a crop so plentiful and overflowing that you won't recognize your own existence soon. Blessings you never thought imaginable will bloom in your garden. Miracles so spectacular that you'll realize why each storm was required. So, when you stand in the center of apparent turmoil, raise your gaze higher. Look beyond today's clouds, because tomorrow promises sunlight and abundance. Your narrative is not about defeat. It's a wonderful win. The same hand that created the stars, set galaxies in action, and shaped the mountains and oceans is guiding you right now, taking you to your promised land as others slip away. It's not because you failed, but because they weren't intended to accompany you to the higher places God has planned for your life. Separation can provide as a form of protection. Rejection can sometimes be interpreted as redirection. Each closed door is a blessing. Each ending represents a fresh beginning in disguise. Your garden is becoming stronger. Your roots are sinking deeper. Your branches are climbing higher. The storms have only strengthened your ability to accept. Your heart, which has been tested and tried, is now ready for the greatest benefits you have ever experienced. You're going to walk into possibilities designed specifically for you. Relationships provide abundance that far exceeds your expectations. Hold fast to your beliefs. Choose one because the finest parts of your life are still to come. When you see what God has planned, you will understand why the journey had to be difficult. Your faithfulness, even in the face of uncertainty, has been noted. Heaven has seen every secret prayer, hidden tear, and silent act of charity. The moment has come for your reward. Remember, no matter how strong the storm or how intense the turbulence, it is only transitory. Your future is secured. Your fate, bright. Your blessings have already been prepared. Stay strong, knowing that God Himself is with you, prepared to lift you higher than you ever imagined imaginable. The pandemonium you experienced is going to become a narrative of divine intervention, inspiring countless people to trust in the power of faith, resilience, and unshakable trust. Your testimony will reverberate throughout decades, reminding everyone who hears it that nothing is too big for God. Today, no hurdle is too big, nor is any storm too severe. Lift your eyes, smile brightly, and take a confident stride forward. Your journey has been incredible. Your struggles were substantial, and your future was extremely blessed because you remained true, because you wouldn't give up. Your prize will come quickly. You are never really in danger, never forgotten, never abandoned. God was always there, planning something amazing for you. The world is going to witness indisputable proof that storms pass, and that behind every hardship comes a blessing so tremendous that it will change your life forever. Consider life to be a field in which each individual chooses which seeds to plant. Some sow compassion and faith, while others spread weeds of jealousy and fear. But no matter what they try to plant in secret, God is the actual gardener, and He has ultimate authority over what grows. Seeds placed in the dark will not grow fruit in the sun. Sometimes the hands that try to choke out your blessings become caught in their own thorns, and the crop they expected is nothing like what God provides. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace come upon you today. I'm here to remind you of a fundamental fact. Our existence is based on God's divine purpose and is unaffected by worldly worries. According to the Bible, everything is done with faith will be returned to God with great blessing. Luke 638. Like the enormous oak tree, our roots are profoundly embedded in God's global truth. His power secures every stride and every stance we take. And now you have the opportunity to be a part of that blessing. When you click the Super Thank You button and contribute $100, this action will bring you 100-fold in plenty. When hearts are inflamed by jealousy and brains grow apprehensive about another's benefits, individuals begin to devise covert conspiracies and closed-door methods, thinking that they may influence the outcome of someone else's tale. But plans based on fear and hatred are as unstable as a house of cards. In the quiet corners, murmurs evolve into plans. Trembling hands move the pieces, completely unaware that the foundation is already disintegrating under them. While those conspiring in the background are busy planning your demise, the Lord is organizing a comeback. What was designed to cage you becomes the perfect launching platform for your next breakthrough prospects, which were previously carefully locked away and out of reach. Begin to come in like a deluge. Doors that were slammed shut in your face swing wide open. Even those who attempted to impede your way are astonished and silent. God has a way of delivering invitations that no one else expected you to accept. There are times when people strive so hard to keep you down, to keep you from going above the level at which they believe you belong, just to see you reach heights they never imagined imaginable. Their hands, busily creating webs of antagonism, are suddenly trapped in their own traps. It's as if their plots against you have backfired, returning to them with a power that reveals all concealed motives. If you experience God's presence, touch the join button below to be among the first to receive the most crucial insights. Those who assembled in secret, sure of their ability to control your future, are left perplexed when God's blessings bypass their fortifications. He provides favors in unexpected places, connections, opportunities, and successes that take you by surprise. While the world watches, the tale unfolds in such a way that every critic and doubter is silenced. People who tried to write you out of the screenplay are now watching as you walk onto a stage designed specifically for you. The audience may be startled, but heaven does not accept every declined offer. God delivers a regal summons to every locked window, revealing a sky full of possibilities. What others attempted to delay, God accelerates the gifts they attempted to hide. You emerge in plain sight, multiplied and enlarged. You may have been rejected, ignored, or even deceived by individuals you trusted the most. However, rejection might sometimes be God's way of redirecting us. He takes away what you thought you wanted so He can give you what you really need. People who sought to keep you little had no idea they were driving you directly into the arms of destiny. Their opposition became your training field, and their plots became the fuel for your advancement. God specializes in transforming what was intended for evil into a witness of grace. Late-night meetings, whispered chats, and manipulative actions behind your back all fall flat when confronted with the light of reality. God can uncover any secret conspiracy or intricate strategy. Those who believed they were working against you are surprised to see how things turn out. So complete, it eliminates any question that a greater force is at work. You've witnessed individuals attempt to ruin your reputation, stall your growth, or steal your opportunity. Yet here you are, stronger than ever, since every setback was a preparation for your comeback. The hands that sought to drag you down now clap and wonder as you stroll into chambers they believed were always close by. Even those who attempted to extinguish your light are now reaching out for your advice, seeking your presence, and hoping they could be in your shoes. There's a lesson here. The chosen one. When you keep your heart clean and your mind fixed on God, no weapon made against you will succeed. Plans made out of fear crumble in the presence of faith plans based on jealousy. Collapse under the weight of honesty, while others try to conceal their actions. You march on, courageously guided by a tranquility that is beyond comprehension. Every closed door served as a guidepost to something bigger. Every refusal, delay, and disappointment. God observed everything and utilized it as a stepping stone to your next level. The world may be astonished by your rising, but God has been preparing for your victory all along. What appeared to be a setback was actually a setup for a breakthrough so spectacular that no one, not even your most formidable opponents, can claim credit for it. People will speak. Critics will murmur. Some will even attempt again to impede your path. But none of this matters. When you walk in the favor of the Almighty, He specializes in flipping the script, rewriting endings, and making the improbable happen. The same people who withheld invitations and benefits now watch as fresh chances pursue you, filling your life with riches. The most amazing aspect of this journey was realizing that God never required approval from the audience to bless you. He employs the unexpected, ignored, and undervalued. Those who mocked at your dreams are now amazed by your reality. What others rejected, God accepts as chosen. You're not here by chance. Your paths are divinely arranged. Your road is individually paved. As you proceed, remember that the hands that attempted to construct walls around you only succeeded in creating a platform beneath you. The higher you go, the clearer it becomes that nothing can stop what God has planned. Every twist and turn, every scheme and strategy, every covert rendezvous, nothing can stop the tide of favor from flowing your way. You're a living proof that faith overcomes fear. Purpose triumphs over pettiness, and destiny always wins. Let the entire world watch. Allow your opponents to wonder. Let your detractors conjecture. Finally, your narrative is being written by history's greatest author. Prepare for overflow. For abrupt invites to heavenly appointments and benefits arrive from the north, south, east, and west. Keep your head held high. The chosen one. Walk forward, knowing that every evil design is being unraveled by God's hand. Your tale is far from done, and the next chapter is set to be the most triumphant yet. The doors they attempted to close were swinging open wide. The benefits that they attempted to prevent are gushing. You're proof that no scheme, plan, or human technique can derail what heaven has already put in motion. Imagine the heart as a tiny town diner late at night, with one of those lonely seats. People with terrible pasts congregate to drink black coffee and discuss stories they'd rather forget. Each person carries their own scars, nursing wounds that never seem to heal. When the lights are dim and the world is silent, regrets tend to float together, making strange friendships based on what is missing rather than what is achievable. Even the strongest hearts can be lured into circles where the only options are past errors and new disappointments. In those dark hours, those burdened by yesterday's decisions begin to hunt for company. They can find themselves exchanging old secrets like little dollars across the counter, trying to get some comfort. What begins as a sympathetic ear may quickly evolve into a covert collaboration in which each person's misery is utilized as collateral. Whispers go back and forth. Confessions become money, and before you know it, a community has formed out of the urge to share. What is too hard to bear alone in meetings where old scores are settled and previous scars linger? The air thickens with expectancy. The lines of loyalty blur as familiar characters transform into architects of elaborate plans, each persuaded that accuracy and secrecy will secure their success. They trace unseen routes through long-standing connections, creating a symphony of whispers designed to disorient the heart and split the faithful. However, the fabric of reality is not as simply ripped. Wisdom passed down via ancient generations connects the present to a larger tapestry, strengthening its edges. When forces combine to liberate them, each attempt to remove what was meant to last is silently repurposed, strengthening the very threads intended to be undone. Unseen hands repair what was threatened, converting sabotage into a catalyst for rejuvenation at a specified time. Our efforts merge in a wave of momentum intended on overpowering via sheer volume and coordinated effect signals that ripple outward in all directions, scattering uncertainty and doubt. Carefully manufactured diversions strive to unmoor the soul, whilst manipulated sights and fabricated realities attempt to obscure clear perception. Orchestrators wait in the wings, awaiting the fall, but their enthusiasm rapidly fades into disbelief. It's time to spread God's blessings by pressing the super thank you button on YouTube. With a $100 payment or more, you may help him carry out his plan and become a part of this heavenly mission. Every contribution symbolizes God's generosity, and I think it will come back to you enormously, far exceeding your expectations. Remember that his protection and blessing are with you every step and every donation. You become a part of his divine plan. You are a powerful, dazzling entity, as solid as the massive rock that saw God's marvels. Feel the rewards of your kindness in your spirit, and light up the world with confidence and bravery. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord lead you. Subterfuge cannot stop the flow of disclosure in the face of inquiry. Even the most well-veiled falsehoods vanish, and the web loses its grip. Allies who were previously assumed to be compromised demonstrate unexpected integrity, converting suspicion into support. Just replacing charges as proof of dishonesty surfaces, and strangers' allegiance becomes a shield against misrepresentation. What was meant as a trap reveals the architect's intentions. When old relationships fade, the emptiness is filled by echoes of decisions that cannot be rectified. What appeared to be a new beginning rapidly turns out to be a pale counterfeit, without the substance that earlier added color to daily life. Each attempt to recapture lost ground simply confirms what has genuinely slipped away, while inner dialogue churns with the realization that certain doors, once closed, cannot be forced open again. Fixation consumes an uncompromising pursuit, causing it to fail. All efforts formerly devoted in meaningful activities are channeled into an ever-narrowing obsession, separating the pursuer from community and purpose. As bonds weaken and self-neglect builds, the cycle perpetuates itself, creating a gulf that widens with each lost chance for reconciliation or progress. The furnace of suffering creates new forms of connection. Guided by principles greater than circumstance, friends assemble who have weathered storms and crossed barriers of belief, bringing witness and support that turns shared grief into collective knowledge. Within this community, new commitment is ignited, and a sense of belonging emerges from the ashes of previous divisions, inviting individuals looking for significance into its fold. If you experience God's presence, touch the join button below to be among the first to receive the most crucial insights. The manipulations used to weaken an hour mirrored back on their creators, revealing their aim to those whose decisions define reputation and opportunity. Communities that formerly welcomed newcomers with open arms are now closing ranks, refusing to tolerate people whose acts showed a plan opposed to common ideals. The means of destruction are transformed into educational tools, teaching long-term lessons about the dangers of jealousy and the cost of misdirected ambition. Every push against the gates of potential creates new routes, allowing new connections and initiatives to thrive in unexpected places. Offers emerge from unexpected places. Partnerships that were previously considered implausible become a reality, and streams of riches begin to pour where drought once threatened. The plenty that follows is not an accident, but rather the inevitable outcome of preparedness meeting a changing tide in the midst of shifting fortunes. Hearts that have slowly developed self-awareness. As they draw closer, a long-awaited reunion arises free of the constraints of comparison, and a sensation of recognition spreads easily between individuals who have prepared for such a time in quiet. Shared objectives emerge, and the path forward looks to be a return to something always intended to be, rather than a new beginning. Ripple effects expand when groups become aware of a new pattern of participation. Platforms that were formerly dominated by negativity now increase the resonance of honesty and hope. Opportunities for influence grow, and the story is reframed in ways that inspire new ideas and attract support from all sides. The world takes notice, and the previously neglected becomes a source of inspiration. Scholarship, enterprise, and the like begin to investigate the sources of persistent power, attempting to comprehend what it means to act on principle. When faced with difficulties, observers from many areas gather insights from the tale as it evolves. Incorporating its teachings into their own travels, the transformation becomes more than just a personal triumph, but also a source of reference for those seeking a better path. As doors open more frequently, each summons confirms that the criteria established during testing were not misplaced. The story of difficulty gives way to a season of satisfaction. As each invitation builds on the previous one, the horizon broadens, and what was once a faraway hope becomes a live monument to the wisdom of patience, endurance, and steadfast determination.